this is the thing about dance, is it's you on the stage. Yes, you can play a character, but it's your body and your expressivity. It takes a heck of a lot of vulnerability, and that's a big ask for young people.
Even in the midst of a pandemic that we've never seen before, even in the midst of great tragedies that we have not seen before, the students at Fort Hays, the students in Columbus, the teachers, the staff, we all still rise up.
And we can be so much more than who we are, so much more than who we are. We can, knee deep in while the world just falls apart. At the rise above it all, we can.
Dun, 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 dun. Tommy Emmanuel, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Maggie.
And Accomplice 2 is out now. You didn't think you could top the other Accomplice album,
tried.
but it's pretty special as well. But we're
Thank
thrilled
you.
to have you here today.
Thank
And
you.
we've got a lot to talk about, where it all started, this latest album, the show tonight with Jorma Kaukonen,
Yeah, indeed.
who we adore as well.
Yeah.
The show's tonight at 8, and we'll have a pair of tickets to give away for the event tonight. Details at kappa.com. It's also listed on our Facebook events. Tommy, what are you going to start us off with?
I thought I might play one of the tracks from the new album, and this is a song that I wrote as a dedication to Merle Travis's son, Tom Bresh, who passed away last year. He was quite a cannonball. That guy. He was a comet flying through our lives, like Travis was, I guess. So I tried to write this tune, and it kind of with a typical Merle Travis flavor. But then when I got to the bridge, it visits Stevie Wonder or someone like that, you know. And that's because I'm from a different generation to Merle Travis. But on the album, my buddy Richard Smith plays all the harmony parts. So today I'll have to do his part as well. So here it is, Son of a Gun.
How do you do it?
It's all smoke and mirrors.
Tommy Emmanuel joining us live from Studio A, and it's a track on the latest album, Accomplice 2, Son of a Gun, with Richard Smith. And tonight's the show, 8 o'clock, with Jorma Kaukonen, two separate sets, and they might get together.
We do.
For during
I haven't seen Jorma in a little while, so it'll be nice to catch up with him. And, you know, he's been a great friend to me.
When did you first play together?
When I came to Fur Peace about 15 years ago.
Amazing place.
Yeah, maybe even more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about some of these other all-stars that you got lined up here. It's a 16-song track, so amazing people on here. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't need anyone but yourself, but you have nice
Well,
special guests on here.
Well, yeah, it was real serendipity how this album came together. I recorded it all last year, and I had one of the busiest years of my life, and so did everybody else, because, since we got over COVID and we're back out working again, everybody got busy. But it was just really fortunate, people like Billy Strings and Molly Tuttle and Yorma's track and Little Feet, Nitty Gritty, all those people. Everybody's touring, but they just happened to come through Nashville, and I was able to get them in the studio. Billy came in, and we cut the Doc Watson tunes, the first take, and then he left, and then Molly came in a little later, and we cut her track, first take as well. The artists of that level are that good.
Yeah.
You get a good sound on your guitar and on your voice, and you can just do it.
And speaking, you mentioned Billy Strings, of course. He goes through a lot of strings.
He does. I'm sure.
How about yourself? I'm sure you do too.
Well, I played a show last night in Grand Rapids, and it was raining cats and dogs, and it was really humid, and I thought my strings are going to be dead and everything. But they sound pretty good. I'm road testing some new Martin strings.
So the thicker or thinner? I'm not a guitar player.
Oh, okay. My strings are 12 to 54 is the gauge. It's called light gauge, but most people who play electric guitar would go, oh my God, how do you play guitar with such heavy strings? But when you play acoustic, you've got to get some kind of kickback, from the string. Like you can still get that kind of vocal singing sound, but in order to do, say if I was going to do something like 16 tons or something, I'd want that honky tonk bottom end, like the bass sound from those strings. So you need them to be big and tough kind of thing,
Yeah.
So they sound pretty new today, right? But I thought they were shot to pieces after the show last night. But it must have been my hearing that was shot to pieces.
Welcome to WCBE.
Thanks for having us.
We've got
Happy
this.
to be here.
We're happy to have you here and talk about this new album, I'm Okay, No I'm Not, where it all started in Cincinnati, Ohio. She's Nashville based now. And we'll get warmed up with a song and come back and talk all about that and give some tickets away.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. What are you going to, what's the first one you're going to do?
We're starting with 8 Hours, which is off of my first record.
Okay.
Yeah.
great.
Let's do it. Grandma is drinking again. I'm feeling foolish, 'cause I thought she would quit. Is it something I did? Something I did. My best friend and I don't talk anymore. One day I woke up and it felt different. Is it something I said? Or something I did? Can we pretend that everything's alright? Like none of it keeps us up at night. Can we pretend that everything's alright? Like we're getting 8 hours.
Hello to our entire Columbus City Schools community. My name is Malin Damashi and I'm a student at Northland High School. Before we begin tonight's Board of Education business meeting, I invite you to check out these highlights and updates from across the district.
Greetings and welcome to this week's highlights from across the district. On Monday, April 15th, CCS students gathered for the Creating Central Ohio Futures event featuring entrepreneur Chris Gardner. Held at East High School and Fort Hays Metropolitan Education Center, Gardner shared invaluable insights into the building and construction trades and highlighted the diverse career opportunities within the industry. Renowned for his autobiography, The Pursuit of Happiness, which inspired a major film, Gardner's personal story from homelessness to CEO of Walnut Ridge, LLC, underscored the themes of resilience and perseverance. His message gave CCS students a deeper understanding of the construction industry and inspiration to pursue their goals with determination. Congratulations to Arts Impact Middle School, which achieved a significant milestone by becoming the first Columbus City school to earn the prestigious Purple Star designation. This award recognizes schools that firmly commit to supporting the needs of students and families connected to our nation's military. The Purple Star designation allows Ames to display a special Purple Star recognition on their school's website and within the building, signaling their commitment to serving military families. Ames stands as a beacon for military families, ensuring they feel welcomed and supported. This milestone is part of Ames' broader vision to extend the Purple Star status to all CCS schools with ROTC programs and eventually to all district middle and high schools. On Tuesday, April 16th, Columbus City Schools, alongside Governor Mike DeWine, hosted a special screening of the 2023 documentary, The Right to Read, at the historic Lincoln Theater. Following Governor DeWine's State of the State address, which advocated for phonics-based literacy education, the event brought together honorable elected officials, including our Columbus Board of Education, community members, educators, and parents. The documentary features an NAACP activist, a teacher, and two families, all promoting the science of reading as a crucial educational method. The screening highlighted the ongoing conversation about the best ways to teach reading, reinforcing our commitment to enhancing literacy across our school district and within Ohio. We extend a special thanks to our event partners, the Department of Education and Workforce, Parents for Reading Justice, and Ohio Excels for their continued partnership and literacy initiatives that aim to equip every child with the tools to read, write, and critically engage with the world around them. On Saturday, April 20th, the CCS Spruce Run Nature Center welcomed the community for an Earth Day celebration that brought everyone closer to nature. Guests engaged in activities such as planting trees and shrubs, enjoying nature walks, enjoying the bubbling creek, and crafting take-home seed art. This special event highlighted the beauty of our natural surroundings and the importance of environmental care. Thank you to everyone who was a part of this day, dedicated to appreciating and protecting our earth and Spruce Run. Congratulations to Miss Robbie Banks on being named the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators Secretary of the Year. Her dedication to Broadley Elementary School goes beyond administrative tasks and is a testament to Ms. Banks' commitment and her impact on the students and staff of Broadley. Thank you, Ms. Banks, for your hard work and for making Broadley a place of learning and a home for all who enter. Congratulations on this well-deserved honor. The unstoppable spirit of the Lyndon McKinley Mighty Marching Panthers electrified the air at their annual Spring Fest Battle of the Bands. The stage was set ablaze with talent as 9 of Ohio's finest high school marching bands showcased their skills in a spectacular showcase. A round of applause for all the musicians who brought rhythm and flair to this incredible event. Well done to each band for their exceptional performances. Success is on the air. Thanks to the generous hearts of our community, WCBE 90.5 FM Spring Fund Drive was a huge success. From April 5th through April 12th, listeners rallied together, propelling WCBE past their ambitious goal of $50,000. Since 1956, WCBE has been amplifying local voices, businesses, and the achievements of CCS students. A heartfelt thank you to all who donated, ensuring the continuation of quality programming and community service. Your support has been instrumental in continuing WCBE's legacy as a beacon for local news, business, and student voices. These have been your highlights from around the district for April 23rd. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening and welcome to the April 23rd, 2024 regular business meeting of the Columbus City Schools Board of Education. Please call the roll.
Ms. Adair? Present. Mr. Cole?
Excused?
Ms. Ingalls?
Present.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Present.
Ms. Reyes?
Excused?
Mr. Simmons?
Present.
President Vera?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. Colleagues, this evening we do have one person here for a public comment. In addition, we will have a Region 2 update. We do have several items under board matters. We do not expect an executive report from our superintendent. We do not have an executive report from our internal auditor. We do not have an executive report from our internal treasurer, interim treasurer. We do have 2 hearings on notice of reemployment, and we do also have items 10.1 to 26.5, and there is no executive session this evening. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Any objections? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Adair? Yes. Ms. Ingalls?
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons? Yes. President Vera?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. I will hand it over to you, Madam Superintendent.
Good evening, President Vera, Vice President Pierce, board members, and community members. We are certainly excited to be here this evening at Walnut Ridge High School for tonight's board meeting. We are eager to share a presentation with you this evening that's highlighting the great work that's happening within Region 2 and at Walnut Ridge High School. For tonight's presentation, first you'll hear from Area Superintendent Stephanie Patton, who will provide an overview of Region 2, share regional data and highlights, and talk about regional achievement in relationship to our board goals. Next, Principal Michael Spellis will discuss the cultural shifts at Walnut Ridge High School, offering a glimpse into the vibrant and supportive environment that defines our school community. We'll also hear from Columbus City Schools Prep School for Boys scholars Jordan Simmons, Jonte Johnson, Carson Whitaker, and Demario Brown. You will also hear from Shady Lane scholar Alexiana Walker and our superintendent student ambassadors Lenosha Smith-Woods and Tehran Butler. They will share their experiences and briefly discuss their involvement in the Superintendent Student Ambassador Program. And now I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie Patton.
Thank you, Dr. Chapman. Good evening, Board President Vera, Vice President Dr. Pierce, and members of the board, Superintendent Chapman, Dr. Chapman, Interim Internal Auditor O'Connor, and Interim Treasurer Ms. Vanover. At this time, I would like to acknowledge all of the staff and parents from Region 2. If you could please stand. And may I have the PowerPoint present? Thank you. Since my last board meeting presentation, the following changes have occurred in the population of Region 2. Total students increased from 6,937 to 6,978. Our ELL students increased from 20% to 22%, and our students receiving special education services increased from 18% to 19%. We are honored to have them in Region 2. Our mission in Region 2, we are dedicated to cultivating an enriching environment where the effective teaching and learning thrive, driven by innovation and a wholehearted embrace of diversity and inclusivity. The board goals, strengthening reading proficiency, strengthening math proficiency, and close opportunity gaps we will touch on tonight to show you our progress in Region 2. Our board goal, strengthen reading proficiency. We are really excited about the vertical alignment and growth for our students in Region 2. The percentage of kindergarten students this school year on track at the beginning of the year, according to iReady, was 19%. It has increased to the middle of the year iReady standard benchmark to 43%. So that's a great increase, and we want to celebrate the hard work that our teachers are doing and our administrators are doing to provide those interventions and enrichments for our students to reach that growth. When we also looked at our data and analysis of our kindergarten cohort of 2021, we observed an annual typical growth of 45%. Those same students are now second graders, and they have an annual typical growth of 52%. So it's showing that students that are in Region 2 in our schools are continuing to grow and to seek proficiency. So we're very proud of that as well. To demonstrate and to talk about our growth in our elementary schools, we want to honor student voice. So I have a student from Shady Lane Elementary who would like to come and share what the wonderful things that they're doing at Shady Lane.
Good evening. My name is Alexiana. I am a current 5th grader at Shady Lane Elementary School, also known as the best school for Region 2 with Columbus City Schools. In the future, I aspire to be a WNBA player. I enjoy reading, math, and science in my spare time. My favorite subjects are math and science. There are a million reasons why people should consider sending their children to Shady Lane Elementary School. But I don't have a lot of time, so I will give you just a few. 1, we are family-oriented. Every parent, teacher, principal, student, and community supporter plays an important role in making sure that Shady Lane is a success. We value the input of everyone involved in making sure that we are all learning. 2, we are problem solvers. Our teachers make it a priority to determine the need for all of our students. With professional development, student engagement, and intentional planning, our teachers have evolved to great educators, and we have become great learners. 3, our principal, Miss Oz, is energetic and loves to be with us. Sometimes you can find her teaching a lesson, throwing a football at recess, and or dancing in the hallway. She believes in us and sets high expectations for us. Her motto is, "Every child that walks through this door is a child of mine," and that is how she treats us.
Thank you, Alexiana. Next, the board goals strengthen math proficiency. We want to highlight the median percent progress towards typical growth for Columbus City Preparatory School for boys is an astounding 92%. Typical growth is the average annual growth for a student at their grade level or their baseline level. So they have worked extremely hard to raise the growth amongst those students. So representing tonight, I would like to call up our young scholars, our young men from Columbus City Preparatory School for Boys.
Hello, my name is Jordan Simmons, and I'm the president of Columbus City Preparatory School for Boys, and these are the Falcon Ambassadors.
Young Kings, listen to me.
Find out one thing that gets you out of bed in the morning, helps you push out of the morning, keeps you going when your stomach is churning with self-doubt.
Young Kings, listen to me. I know the world is cold, bullets snatching lives, leaving the guns of officers meant to protect the people. I know it's hard to do what you're told, when they're throwing you up against the wall, giving up on you in classrooms, conditioning you to think you're doomed. Either way, Young Kings.
There's a crown on your head that nobody can yank away. One that's here to stay to the very end. They say heavy is the head that wears the crown, but if anyone can handle it, it's you, and whatever you choose to do.
Young Kings.
Keep your head up even when you're fed up. Even when you get knocked down, just know you
So
can
Always stand back up and stand proud, with a heart full of pride, with confidence that shows in your stride. Never let your dreams die, never let your heart turn cold, because that's just what they want. Young Kings.
Thank you, young men, young scholars, and this is the proud moment that we are sowing into our students that's making a difference in Region 2. So very proud of the scholarship that they're showing today. Board goal, closing opportunity gaps. So we're talking a little bit about factors impacting matriculation rates. There are two that we have found is chronic absenteeism and credit attainment. And so what we're doing to overcome those barriers is that we provide family ambassadors who support parents, real-time communication when students miss consecutive days, and recognition of students maintaining good attendance. Some of the things that we're doing for credit attainment is after-school Apex Boot Camp. We are doing ELA and math lunch support, which our students enjoy coming and being in an environment where they can get help during the school day, because we know that they often work after school or have other obligations. Tiered grade level meetings with families, and a great community partnership that involve report card conferences where we actually have community members come in and talk to families about what their report cards are saying and if they need any further assistance. So we found that to be a great strategy for us this year. We also held Credentialing Week at Independence High School in Columbus, Iota. Walnut Ridge will partake in that in the upcoming week. And Region 2 high schools offers diverse pathways for students to show competency beyond the Ohio State test. On such pathways, it involves earning a 12-point industry-recognized credential or set credentials totaling 12 points in a specific career field. So for example, Walnut Ridge has courses that allow students to become credentialed in the construction industry. So these credentials not only demonstrate competency, but they also prepare our students for the workforce, and those has been very successful. So if you look at our percentages, we had 68% of our seniors that participated complete the 12-point credential. Columbus Iota had 100% of their students complete their 12-point credential, and Independence, their juniors, 25% have completed the 12-point credential. So this, again, gives students an alternate pathway when the OST or the Ohio State test is a challenge or a barrier. So we take great pride in being able to offer alternative pathways for graduation. And lastly, for Region 2, we want to talk about our PBIS and restorative practices. We're very proud to say here at Walnut Ridge, we have our staff and students have participated in the student-led restorative practices, and what we've seen across the region, we've had an 8% decrease in behavior infractions, because what we found is that when you empower students and you teach them problem-solving skills, they choose different methods to communicate. And so we want to continue to build on that. We're very proud, and our PBIS structures that we have in place offer opportunities from students who want to initiate celebrations in positive environments, and also those students who may be Tier 3 who are struggling, and we can have an individual approach with them, and that's all done through our PBIS structure that we have in the region, along with what we feel is the best practice of restorative practices with students. And so with that, I will turn it over to the proud principal of Walnut Ridge High School, Mr. Michael Spellis.
Good evening. On behalf of Walnut Ridge High School, I would like to welcome Board President Vera, Vice President Dr. Pierce, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Chapman, Internal Auditor O'Connor, and Interim Treasurer Vanover. I would also like to say thank you for everything you do to the Walnut Ridge admin team, our head custodian, Yolanda Mitchell, David Wellborn, and our safety and security team, Ms. Patton and Mr. Chamberlain, and the entire Walnut Ridge High School staff. My name is Michael Spellis, and I am the head principal of Walnut Ridge High School. And today, I'm going to explain my leadership for what welcomed me to Walnut Ridge High School itself, the matriculation process, and our OST goals. So I started teaching in Oklahoma City. I taught for 6 years, and I decided it was time to come home to Columbus. I was blessed enough to get a math job at Walnut Ridge High School, where I taught for 2 years, and then transitioned into some out-of-the-classroom roles, such as our social-emotional learning coordinator and our testing coordinator. I then joined our principal pipeline, where I was a leadership intern. I had the blessing to sub at almost every school in Columbus because it was during our return from pandemic year. But what that brought me was just picking up different leadership from our great leaders in Columbus. I got to see how 20 different lunches were run, and it was a great experience that then propelled me into the assistant principal role at Walnut Ridge, and eventually being promoted to the head principal at Walnut Ridge High School. So our mission at Walnut Ridge is to have every student matriculate to the next grade level and then have our seniors graduate within 4 years. Our vision is for each student to be highly educated, be prepared for leadership and service, and then be empowered for successful citizens in a global community. At Walnut Ridge High School, we now represent 25 different countries. We have seen our population change a lot within the last couple of years, and we do everything we can as a staff to celebrate these students. Pictured here is our Hispanic Heritage Festival, which is a great event where our families come in and we celebrate culture through food, through dance, and as we can see, it's just one big party in the library. It's one of our best days of the year, and we are also getting ready for our multicultural festival, which will occur next month. For our matriculation process, I'm very proud to be a part of our matriculation team that meets weekly. And what we do is we get together to discuss students in tiered groups. Our first tier is our students who are on track to graduate, and we do everything we can to celebrate these schools. Pictured is our seniors in their caps and gowns, which we can also see in the hallway, and they have done everything they need to do as far as right now to get their diploma. So we reach out to parents, we celebrate, we let them know that you are doing everything you need. In addition, our Tier 2 and Tier 3 students, we do the same thing, but they get a few extra support. So last month in this auditorium, we had a meeting where we went over everything they needed. We also invited parents to this meeting so we could hear if we needed to provide any additional supports. It was a great meeting, and we will continue to follow up with parent feedback. Lastly, we set some OST goals for this year. Clearly, we have some room for growth here, but we thought it'd be a good starting point to set goals so we have a benchmark of improvement. Department chairs got together and looked at the data from last year and decided on these goals. And as we are in testing season right now, we constantly communicate to our students that 700 is the goal. We reach out to parents for these goals. And once again, we like to celebrate the students' efforts. So we've had pizza parties for attendance. We had a swag day where students got sunglasses, and we just really want them to know that these tests are important and we want to support them in this process. So now to the good part, you will hear from our wonderful student leaders.
Hi, my name is Lanaja. I'm a senior involved in student council and track and field here at Walnut Ridge. One of the things that I enjoy here at Walnut Ridge is the student-led things that I'm involved in and knowing that my voice is heard.
Hi, I'm Teron Butler. I'm a junior here at Walnut Ridge, and I'm in student council. I'm also in track with her. And the thing that I love about Ridge is being able to be on the track team with a bunch of amazing athletes and just get along here. Okay. Bridge to Ridge. Students from different middle schools come to Ridge to experience the high school life for the day. This includes visiting construction, art, and core classes, touring the entire building, and also meeting Ridge staff and students. Middle school students got a taste of how fun Ridge is by eating lunch with high school students and learning all the ways about how to be involved in becoming a Scot. I wish I would have had this when I was in 8th grade. Report card conferences. Report card conferences is where Scots have the opportunity to sit down with community partners to discuss their quarter grades and their successes. This includes earning a certificate based on different achievements. Report card conferences also give Scots the opportunity to discuss challenges of high school, both in and outside the classroom, ask questions on how to improve as a student, and ask about giving back to the community. We are very thankful for our community partnerships. "4841 News. 4841 News is a class here at Walnut Ridge where students use their voices to broadcast school news in the building. Last year, I was actually in the class, and I was an editor and also a music producer. So I edited the videos, helped publish them, and put the music up in the videos. I love how fun 4841 News is and how it provides all Scots current information, maybe weekly or even monthly.
I would like to start with our community partners event. I had the pleasure of participating in the ACA, which is Appreciate, Collaborate, and Advocate. It is an event where community members and students here at Walnut Ridge come together to discuss issues or student involvement problems, student voices, and working with community members in general. It was fun to have a chance to connect to different people who care about Walnut Ridge. And then we have college visits from Walnut Ridge. At Walnut Ridge High School, we have taken trips to many colleges, that being Otterbein, Ohio University, Tiffin, Akron University, Cincinnati, Ohio State, Kentucky State, and Central State. These trips allowed us to see many aspects of college life, that being meeting college students and staff, seeing dorms, learning different things, different majors, and seeing the day-to-day life of college students. At Walnut Ridge, our extracurriculars range from different sports and clubs, that being from track and field, which I'm involved in, basketball, football, tennis, and soccer. Our soccer team is growing each year, and it made it to the city championships this year, so it's good for me, senior class. Our basketball team also made it to the district championships, and our band along is growing in size from recent years. They performed at basketball games, football games, and even competed all day at the Battle of the Bands at Linden High School. We also had the following club. We also have a lot of clubs here at Walnut Ridge. We have a group called Empower Her. This is a new girls group that was born this year, led by senior girls, that is for helping empower younger classmen, and showing them community in the classrooms and helping each other. Walnut Ridge also has an African and Hispanic Heritage Club. Ready? Go Scots!
Thank you for allowing us to represent Region 2. And again, thank you to the wonderful staff, students, parents, and community. We couldn't do it without you. So with that, if there are any questions or comments, if not, I'll turn it over to Dr. Chapman.
Thank you. Let's give another round of applause to our amazing students, students please stand? Students, that round of applause was for you. Please stand. To our students, thank you for being here with us this night. I know some of you have a very hectic schedule and we're running from your extracurricular activities, athletic games, track practice, basketball, and a few other things, right? So I appreciate you carving out the time to be here with us this evening. It's very important for us, the board and administration, to hear from our students, so I want you to know how much we appreciate you. And to our staff and administrators, thank you for being here with us this evening, for sharing your journey, and for supporting your colleagues in Region 2. We certainly appreciate the work that you do in service of our students and alongside our students. So thank you, everyone, for sharing your experience and expertise with us this evening. And now I'm going to turn it back over to President Vera.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. I believe there was a group photo that they wanted to take right now with the students. We're going to do that up here on the stage, from my understanding.
Us too?
Yes. Thank you again, our students and staff. At this time, we will move into public comment. This evening, we do have one person here, Valdemir Kogan. Topic is Facilities Task Force, Board Action, Prioritize Academic Outcomes in Deciding Which Schools to Close. Good evening, Mr. Kogan. You have 3 minutes. Please feel free to start whenever you like.
Well, good evening, President Vera, Vice President Dr. Pierce, board members, and Dr. Chapman. I'm here tonight to urge you to make academic and student outcomes your North Star in the ongoing facilities right-sizing process. Some background. We're not talking about this issue because of a dearth of resources. Last year, Columbus spent nearly $26,000 per student, not far below the full-price tuition at the region's most elite private schools, including Wellington and the Columbus Academy. Over the past decade, the number of teachers in the district has increased by nearly 20%, while the number of students declined by 1/10. Over the past 20 years, student-teacher ratios have shrunk by nearly 1/3. Yet we have not seen improvements in academic outcomes commensurate with such investments. How we use resources is the issue. According to national data, Columbus has 30 more schools, that's right, 30 more schools than the average amongst districts of similar size, educating students of comparable racial diversity and economic disadvantage. Operating and staffing so many half-empty buildings diverts resources from where they could have the biggest impact on learning. But deciding which buildings to close is key. All the scholarly research shows that whether building consolidation improves or hurts student learning, and it can do either, really depends on 2 key factors. First, whether buildings are selected for closure based primarily on academic outcomes. And second, whether students whose schools close are able to subsequently attend buildings producing larger learning gains. My concern is that this knowledge has not been reflected in the facilities task force process, at least so far. Indeed, none of the 4 closure criteria identified by the task force so far, student enrollment, building utilization, building condition, and student transfer rates, has anything to do with student academic outcomes. And this despite your own policy making, quote, efficacy of an educational program at a building, unquote, the first factor when considering school closure. Worse, one of the factors currently being considered, the percent of students attending a school while living outside of its attendance boundary, is a significant and positive predictor of academic achievement and growth, especially for middle and high schools. It makes no sense to prioritize these high-achieving buildings for closure. My second concern is that returning to a neighborhood schools model seems to be the key motivation for this process. This is at odds with your recently adopted equity policy and board equity guardrails. Nothing can be less equitable than linking a student's school assignment to the zip code in which families can afford to live. For too long, our district has operated mostly as an adult employment agency and a real estate holding company. I hope you don't repeat these mistakes this spring. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, at this time, we will move down to board matters, item 5.1, a resolution to recognize and congratulate Robbie Banks for being named Secretary of the Year by OAESA. Ms. Banks, if you could please make your way to the podium. And Board Member Ingalls has that resolution.
All right. A resolution to recognize and congratulate Robbie Banks as the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators 2024 Secretary of the Year. Whereas, the Columbus Board of Education is proud to honor and celebrate Columbus City School employees who support the district's vision of creating a world-class model of public education that prepares students for leadership and service by reaching their full potential. And whereas, Robbie Banks, who proudly serves as an administrative education support professional for the Broadley Elementary School, was selected as the 2024 School Secretary of the Year by the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators. And whereas, Ms. Banks is often the first person that many students, teachers, parents, and administrators encounter. She has established herself as an integral part of the educational process. Her 7 years of service have had a positive impact on the academic success of the students that she has touched. She is a tireless advocate who is not only appreciated by her students, but also by the team of professionals that interact with her daily. And whereas, inspiring students to seek lifelong achievement and learning is the value-added benefit that administrative support professionals like Ms. Banks bring to the district. She and other education support professionals like her are the backbone of the district's education improvement strategy. She is an unsung hero to Ohio's public education system, and we are honored to join with the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators in recognizing her. Thank you for being a difference maker. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Columbus Board of Education, that this board does hereby congratulate Robbie Banks on being selected as the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators 2024 Secretary of the Year.
President Vera, I second that motion. There's a second. Please call the roll.
I just want to say thank you for this amazing award. It's such an honor to be able to serve students, parents, and school, as well as the entire community of Broadley Elementary. It is an award for me just to get up every morning to come and see our students' smiling faces, because that's who I do it for. Any day I can come in and make a difference in the students' lives, I'm grateful to be that person. I'm grateful to be that first person that they see in the morning. I greet them with a smile. I'm a little emotional because I'm excited. And I always get teary-eyed at the end for 5th grade promotion because my babies are leaving and the new ones are coming. So overall, I have like thousands of babies. So I'm just grateful, and I thank you all for the recognition.
Thank you.
Superintendent Chapman, ladies and gentlemen of the board, my name is Mark Jones, and I'm the Associate Executive Director of the Ohio Association of Elementary School Administrators. And I just want to say, every year we go through this process of finding a gem of a secretary. This year, it was a slam dunk, no-brainer. When we read through all of the applications, we have a team of administrators from across the state read all of the applicants, all of the applications from the school principals or the nominations, and they scored them on a rubric. I got to tell you, Robbie Banks was like the top of every single reader's score, so there was no question. We will be recognizing her at our annual conference in June at the Hilton at Easton, and we'll have a nice award there. But for photo purposes here, we do have a certificate for her this evening. So congratulations.
Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Ingles?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations again, Ms. Banks.
And I believe Dr. Lay would like to say something.
Yeah.
We have a student here as well.
Okay. And also a staff member. Please indulge us. Miss Banks excels in her daily work, yet she has received this award for so much more. To our Broadley community, she is counselor, caregiver, behavior manager, parent coach, staff motivator, and any problem solver. There is no task she will not take on for the benefit of the students, staff, parents, families, and school community. She makes our school a home away from home. Ms. Banks will frequently call staff members during evenings when they are struggling with illness or personal issues and check in with them about their health and wellness, giving care and encouragement even after hours. For parents and families, she goes the extra mile to refer them to resources, counsel them through problems, and encourage them to advocate for their children. She has been known to advise for childcare, healthcare, financial support, even coordinate the jump of a car battery, and purchase items for students and staff from her own funds. Once I overheard her console a parent through a particularly hard day, telling Mom, "This day is only one day. It will get better." Tells me that too. Tomorrow will be better. Miss Banks has an eagle eye for any person who is upset, anxious, or needs help. She will gently nudge staff members who are having a bad day or wrap them in one of her famous hugs. Students often request Miss Banks for reward parties, counseling, to work quietly, or just to be in her smiling, joyful presence. She goes above and beyond to support our school community, and she is the heartbeat of our school. This is from a parent. Robbie Banks is an exceptional school secretary. She makes everyone who enters the building feel welcome. Even when a parent comes into the school as a result of a disciplinary problem with their student or needs to talk to a teacher, Ms. Banks speaks calmly and makes them feel comfortable. She builds a positive relationship with each student, encourages them to do their best every day. Ms. Banks always leans a listening ear to parents as we share our concerns about our students or just life in general. I always feel that my children are safe while at school because I know that Ms. Banks will look out for them.
Hello, my name is Athena Hunter, and I am from Broadley Elementary School, and I'm in the 5th grade. I am very happy and proud that Ms. Banks has won this award because she is an excellent secretary, and I'm very happy. I have overcome many fears, not just because all the staff and teachers there have believed in me, but I could always have a shoulder to cry on because of Ms. Banks. I am very happy that Ms. Banks has won this award because she has impacted my life more than anyone could have ever imagined. I am very happy that she won this award not just because she wanted, but it's what others had to say and how she deserved it. I'm very happy and pleased to be here to speak out how I feel about her winning. Ms. Banks has impacted my life for the last 7 years I've been at Broadley, and I would always be so happy just to come up to the office and tell her how great my day was and be able to be thankful for the years I've been at Broadley. So I would like to thank Ms. Banks for being there for me all those years.
Good afternoon. My name is Irma Turner, and I am the family ambassador at Broadley. And all I can say is Ms. Banks is the glue that keeps the Broadley family together. Thank you for honoring her.
All right, congratulations again. Colleagues, we will move into item 5.2, a resolution to recognize and honor School Principals Day. I believe we have Dr. Spillis, and I think here Principal Osborne, Principal Lee, Principal Ritten, Principal Smoot. If you could please join us at the podium. All principals. If you're a principal, pull up to the podium today. Let's just all the principals. If you're a principal, come to the podium. And Board Member Simmons has the resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. To recognize, honor, and celebrate May 1st as School Principals Day in the Columbus City School District. Whereas the Board of Education is pleased to recognize May 1st as School Principals Day. Whereas School Principals Day honors preschool, elementary, middle, and high school principals and recognizes the importance of school leadership in ensuring that every child is highly educated, prepared for leadership and service, and empowered for success as a citizen in the global community. Whereas school principals serve as caretakers to implementing the district's vision of achieving a world-class model of public education that prepares students to reach their full potential. Their leadership helps create a positive learning environment for our students. Whereas school principals set the academic tone for a school, they work with the staff to establish the rigor and scholastic benchmarks and push students to excel. They can be the difference makers. Whereas school principals are the education leaders that motivate and inspire their staff and students at the ground level to remain engaged in teaching and learning, one of the school district's preeminent obligations. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Columbus Board of Education that this board does hereby recognize, honor, and celebrate May 1st as School Principals Day.
That is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Ingalls?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations. Wait, we have a certificate for you. Don't run off. Just hold on a second. We got to take a picture. Let's give them the certificate. All right. All right, colleagues, and we are going to move into item 5.3, a resolution to recognize mental health awareness. This evening, we will have mental health awareness guest to Ms. Wanda Ferris to the podium. She will be accompanied by Jamari Fleshman, and 11th grader, and Hunter Tarasa, 10th grader. Please come to the podium. And Board Member Adair has that resolution.
Thank you so much. I am honored to present the resolution to recognize May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the Columbus City School District. Whereas Mental Health Awareness Month began in 1949 with the National Association of Mental Health, now known as Mental Health America, The organization was created to establish programs, resources, and services to encourage people impacted by anxiety, depression, and other disorders to find treatment and support. And the Columbus Board of Education recognizes the importance of raising awareness and appreciates the need to expand the conversation regarding how depression, suicide, and other mental health challenges impact students. The board has established a guardrail that prioritizes a commitment to a whole child approach. It recognizes that a student's education and life outcomes heavily depend upon a student's access to safe and welcoming learning environments. This also includes rich learning experiences in and out of school. Access to quality mental health services is also a strategic part of maintaining this whole child-focused guardrail. The Columbus City School District has come to appreciate the unique mental health questions that exist in today's post-COVID-19 society. The board's investment includes, but are not limited to, implementing critical incident support strategies by establishing an Office of Whole Child Supports, employing licensed school counselors and social workers, using positive behavior interventions and support, PBIS, strategies, applying social and emotional learning practices, contracting with school-based behavioral health partners, and providing student and staff members with access to behavioral health resources. Mental Health Awareness Month is a time to increase awareness, improve understanding, highlight mental health service providers, and recommit to helping to reduce stigmas around mental health. Now, therefore, it be resolved by the Columbus Board of Education that this board hereby recognizes May as Mental Health Awareness Month in the Columbus City School District and encourages residents, students, and staff to have increased conversations regarding ways to support, treat, and destigmatize mental health. That is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Ingalls?
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Good evening, Ms. Ferris.
Good evening. Thank you, President Vera, Board of Education members, and Dr. Chapman for recognizing Mental Health Awareness Month. We also like to recognize the Office of Whole Child Supports in Walnut Ridge, and we just want to appreciate your support and advocacy for this very important work to support our students. Please meet our scholars who have prepared brief comments, Jamari Fleshman and Hunter Peraza.
Good evening. I would first like to start by thanking the Board of Education for supporting mental health awareness and bringing recognition to it through this resolution. My name is Jamari Fleshman. I'm a junior here at Walnut Ridge High School. My first question is, what do you see when you look at me? A strong, young, Black, intelligent young adult? Sometimes I see that too. But other times I don't. Other times I'm worried if I'm making a mistake or if I'm even good enough. And you would never notice. Sometimes the people in our lives never notice until it's too late. That is why mental health is so very important. It can not only save a person's life, but the hurt and pain it causes to the family. Did you know 1 in every 6 youth ages 6 to 17 has a mental health disorder each year? 113,000 Ohioans ages 12 to 17 were diagnosed with depression. Nearly 43.2% of adults in Ohio report symptoms of anxiety or depression. Did you also know that suicide is the second leading cause of death for youth and young adults ages 10 to 24? From 2007 to 2021, suicide rates have increased 62%. And in Ohio, 1,906,000 adults has a mental health condition. That's more than 4 times the population of Cleveland. These numbers are shocking, but also could have been prevented. If more people focus on their mental health, we could stop this rate from growing. That is why I plan to become a therapist, because I want to bring awareness to a subject that has not been prioritized. Even though it has become more important in conversations, we still have a long way to go. When I become a therapist, I want to focus on the family system because positive mental health starts at home and affects how students perform in school. Thank you for your time and good evening.
Hello, board members, parents, and faculty. My name is Hunter Peraza. I'm a sophomore and a leader in Walnut Ridge's SLRP group. The impact that SLRP has had for the school since implementation is palpable. If you're sitting asking what SLRP is, don't worry, it's only just getting started. SLRP stands for Student-Led Restorative Practices. We work in our individual schools to create a healthy student community and promote much more healthy methods of communication for students and faculty alike. This program has personally affected my mental health greatly. Being given the opportunity to lead and learn more about healthy communication has led me to take a lot of it to heart and use the skills to better my own life. Throughout 2024, I've struggled with my own depression more than ever, but using what I've learned during my time in this program, I've been able to more effectively manage my emotions and continue to be my best self. Aside from just helping the group members, SLRP helps the students and faculty see eye to eye more often and get past issues that come forth in the classroom or the halls. Just yesterday, we sat down with a student and their teacher to give them safe space to talk through the issues they were having in class. Both left satisfied and with a plan on what they were going to do differently. Understandably, you may have your doubts that this would work in most schools, but I assure you that all that stands between a conflict and a resolution is healthy communication and mutual respect. I believe that even if just one person in every school involved with this program leaves positively impacted, it will have been worthwhile. Thank you to the principal and support staff at Walnut Ridge for always being available to help whenever I or anyone else has needed them, and I extend another thanks to the Board of Education for allowing us to speak here and honoring Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamari and Hunter. All right, colleagues. Before I move on, Jamari, before you leave, just know that description you read, we see that too. All right, so we are going to move on, colleagues, to item 5.4. Let's see here. I move to consideration of item 5.4, a motion to abolish the current committees and committee structures set forth by Board Policy number 0155. On March 5th, 2024, the board unanimously passed a resolution establishing new standing committees, including the Policy and Governance Committee, the Academic and Facility Alignment Committee, the Equitable and Transparent Resource Management Committee, and the Community Engagement and Advocacy Committee. In the same resolution, the board unanimously resolved that would abolish its current committees and committee structures set forth in Board Policy number 0155. Consistent with the resolution, I move to abolish the current committees and committee structures set forth in Board Policy number 0155, effective May 1st, 2024. That is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Ingalls?
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Colleagues, at this time, we will move into item 5.5, board committee appointments. I want to take a moment just to thank all of our community members and partners. Doing this application process was a new process for this board, but we were committed to being able to really start to evaluate our committee structures. And so we want to thank our community for applying, sharing the application. I also want to add that this is a new process for us, so we are learning as we're going, and this is a process that will continue to evolve as we get deeper and dive deeper into the work. I also want to say to all of our applicants, thank you. Thank you for applying and understanding that this appointment process will be a continued process. There will be more opportunities in the work ahead. So we're excited to be able to start the appointment process, but I want to reiterate, it's not going to be the final process. So there will be opportunities for subcommittee, ad hoc. So we just want to thank those applicants that took the time to apply. Know that your time matters, and we're excited to be able, at some point, to be able to partner and serve alongside of you. At this time, I am going to list our initial appointments under the Community Engagement and Advocacy Committee. I have Quay Barnes, Michael Jenkins, Jermaine Kennedy, Kauthar Musa, Megan Stillwater. For the Equitable and Transparent Resource Management Committee, we have Kishana LeCount Burrell, Pedro Mija, Cynthia Price, Keisha Upchurch. For the Policy and Governance Committee, we have Kelsey Ingleson, Dr. Joanne Lunchford, Javante McDonald, Daniel Smith, and Jesse Vogel. As mentioned, there will be more information to follow. And once again, we just want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this process, and we certainly look forward to the work ahead. At this time, we are going to move into item 5.6. Very exciting. Item 5.6. Colleagues, we have the opportunity, a resolution here to employ our internal auditor. And Mr. O'Connor, before I go into this legislation, I just want to thank you for all of the work that you continue to do and have done in this interim space. Your board is very excited to continue to partner with you. And so I just want to say thank you, and I definitely want to give some time for my colleagues after I do the motion. Whereas the Columbus Board of Education desires to employ L. Kevin O'Connor as internal auditor of the Columbus City Schools District effective May 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2027. Now therefore be it resolved that the Columbus Board of Education hereby appoints L. Kevin O'Connor as internal auditor of the Columbus City School District commencing on May 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2027. Be it further resolved, the Columbus Board of Education hereby approves the contract of internal auditor with L. Kevin O'Connor for the term commencing on May 1st, 2024 through July 31st, 2027 as presented. And be it further resolved that the president of the board be authorized to execute the contract of internal audit with L. Kevin O'Connor as internal auditor of the Columbus City School District. That is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Ingles?
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. O'Connor. Before we do the signing of the contract, I want to open it up if any of my colleagues would like to share any sentiments. Board Member Adair.
Thank you, President Vera. I just wanted to acknowledge the work of Auditor O'Connor as well as his entire team. We challenged the office to really consider the role that this function plays in our district, and I think that you have embraced that. And you and the team have been incredibly helpful to me personally as a board member, and I know to some of my colleagues as well, about how you are helping us be more proactive in the way that we are viewing the audit function. This is good governance. This helps us with ensuring that we are operating in ways that are fully transparent, ensuring that we are following our policies, and really helping us do what we do best on the adult side so that we can ensure that our students are meeting their outcomes. So I just want to thank you personally for all of the advice and guidance and recommendations that you've provided me as a board member. And I look forward to watching your full vision of what this office is going to be, and you to continue to partner alongside our superintendent as well as our treasurer's office as you, three of you, execute leadership in this district. So thank you to you and your team.
Thank you, Ms. Adair. Appreciate it.
Board Member Simmons.
Thank you, Internal Auditor O'Connor. I would just like to say that I'm excited we're going to be able to continue to partner together, and I am very thankful for the innovative and unique approach I think you bring to the Internal Auditor's Office. I look forward to seeing the work that you and your team continue to complete over the next several years.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons.
Board Member Ingles.
Thank you, Auditor O'Connor. It has been a pleasure getting to know you and working with you this short period that I've been on the board so far. But I am very much looking forward to the future, and I appreciate you being willing to answer all of my questions, and there are many. So thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Ms. Ingles.
Board Member Pierce.
So I just want to echo all the sentiments that my colleagues have shared. Definitely look forward to continuing to work with you as you build a team and execute your vision. If we do not say it as often as we should say it,
We appreciate you and we thank you for your service. We also appreciate and thank your family for allowing you to, I know it takes endless hours when it's probably past 5 p.m. And we probably start sending questions before 8 a.m. And I know I've sent some questions over the weekend, and you are always very prompt in your response and very thorough in that response. So thank you for what you do, but also thank you to your family for them sharing you with us. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Pierce. I'll pass that along to the family.
And at this time, coming up, congratulations again, Auditor O'Connor. We're excited to have you and look forward to the work ahead. So thank you. Is there anything you would like to say?
The only thing I really wanted to say was just thank each of you for your time, support, and confidence you've shown in me and the office. And I look forward to the great things that we can do going forward.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, so we are going to move into item 5.7. Let's see here. We have a representative with us this evening from the Educational Service Center of Central Ohio, also known as the ESC. The ESC offers administrative, academic, fiscal, and operational support services to school districts, including recruitment support services. Columbus City Schools will be utilizing the ESC to conduct a search for a permanent treasurer. We've invited representatives from the ESC to our meeting tonight to give an overview of the search process and to explain what we can expect. While those gentlemen are making their way to the podium, I do want to take a moment to personally thank our colleague, Interim Treasurer Vanover. You know, you have jumped into this role and have really supported this board and this district in a time that it mattered the most. We've done a lot together in passing a levy, being able to continue to move the office of the treasurers, and we just want you to know how thankful we are for your support, and we're grateful that you will still be with us as an executive director of data and process. So we just want to take a moment, and if my colleagues want to offer any remarks as well. Board Member Adair.
Yes, thank you. And since Michael Cole is not here, who is the former chair of our Finance Committee, I just want to share the hard work that you have done by leading the treasurer's team, and as President Vera said, stepping in a time that was very critical to this district when we were working on the levy and helping our community to understand the vital aspects of school finance and funding here in Columbus City School District. And you know, I know that this work is not easy, but we are proud of the work that you personally have done, the work that the entire Treasurer's Office has done. You are a strong team, all of you. We know that you have worked hard as a team, and we know that we will go through this as a team. And we are thankful that you will be here on staff as we make this transition. You know, the work that you have done has been, we just thank you for that, Jenny. And, you know, we look forward to having you continue to serve us in just a different capacity. So thank you, Jenny, for your service.
Thank you. Board Member Ingalls.
I just want to say thank you, Treasurer Vanover. It has been a long road, and I'm still learning very much. So, and you have been an integral part in bringing me up to speed, not only on how we fund, but why we do, and that's been very helpful. So I am so appreciative of you and your work, and very grateful that you will continue to be with us.
Thank you. Board Member Simmons.
Thank you, Madam President. Treasurer Vanover, I would just like to say that I am thankful for your long-term service to the district. I know that you have served the district very well throughout all of your different roles in our organization, and I have confidence that you will continue to serve the district well throughout this transition period. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will echo the sentiments of my colleagues, and I will add that I am very happy that you are staying on to support our district and to continue to execute the vision of our treasurer's office. We know that you all play a very key and critical role within our district, and so we appreciate you for that service, for you being forward-thinking, for your level of commitment to not only your office, the Office of Treasurer, but also to our district, to our staff. I mean, you all make sure that everyone gets paid on a timely basis. You ensure that our students have those resources that they need, and again, you do work hand in hand with our superintendent and internal auditor. And so we thank you for everything that you've done and for everything that you'll continue to do.
Superintendent Chapman.
Yes. Jenny, thank you. Thank you for your service to our district. Thank you for your commitment to this work. But more importantly, I want to thank you for being such a trusted thought partner and colleague. Your collaboration, your spirit of understanding how our offices have to work hand in hand together. We have moved some big rocks together in a very short period of time. We think about the coordination, the collaboration that needed to be integral as we were, moving forward with the levy. And now we're, thinking about how we allocate our resources differently as a district. The transition to a new software system, Allaview, there has to be just lots of alignment between the treasurer's office and the superintendent's office, and just appreciate your spirit of collaboration, your thought partnership, your counsel, and certainly your expertise. I know I've been leaning on you a lot, and I appreciate you. Just want to thank you for your service and commitment. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. All right. At this time, I would like to invite the representatives from ESC to the podium to provide an overview of the treasurer search process and to explain what we can expect in the coming months. We will now turn it over to Tom Goodney, ESC of Central Ohio Superintendent, and David Vard, ESC of Central Ohio Treasurer. Good evening.
Thank you, President Vera, members of the board, Dr. Chapman, Jenny, good to see you again. Thanks for affording us the opportunity to be with you tonight and review the search proposal. Before I do, I want to introduce my colleague, David Varda, CFO Treasurer at the ESC of Central Ohio, and a veteran treasurer with well over 40 years with connections across the state and across this country, and I think somebody who's going to be a really valuable asset in this search process as we move forward. His connections to the school treasurer community are deep and will be of great value to you as we move forward. So your expert team took some of our proposal information that we sent to you and put it into a nifty slide deck, one of which we'd like to copy and use in future presentations, if you don't mind. You can see here a little bit about us. I thought your summary of our organization was spot on. We're here for you. We serve not only the Columbus City Schools, but 32 other school districts in Central Ohio, and are a veteran organization of many superintendent, treasurer, central office, and even building administrative searches over the years. I have a team of folks that do that work for us. You will have a lead consultant supported by David to help you through this process. I think I'm allowed to advance. Yeah. So let's jump into actually what happens with this process. I know you've recently been through a superintendent search process. Our process is pretty straightforward. Based on what I know about your circumstances, we would be talking about a search process that would be more in the expedited realm rather than more of a longitudinal search. There are times when we've done these searches that the entire process has lasted 6 months or more. We know we don't have that amount of time, so we'll really be leaning and leveraging the state connections we have, the national connections we have, and the individuals we have within our organization to make that happen. You can see the process overview there, obviously commencing with a needs assessment, candidate recruitment and due diligence, to final selection and success and continuing support. Let's reserve that fifth one, but drill down on the first four. Needs assessment really commences with an opportunity to engage the board directly, to talk specifically about the knowledge, experience, dispositions that you want in your next treasurer. And there's a number of ways that we do that. There's a number of tools that we utilize to be able to extract that from you and your primary stakeholder groups within the Columbus community, ultimately resulting in a candidate profile. If you said tonight, Tom, Dave, but we want you guys to get started on this tomorrow. We don't have the time, we feel, to develop all of the elements of a specific candidate profile before we want to begin to raise awareness that the opportunity exists to come and serve in Columbus. That's a two-tiered process. We can certainly do a detailed vacancy announcement and begin to raise awareness of the opportunity and begin to talk to people, but we feel it's very important that you lean in and you allow others that you rely on to develop a specific profile. That profile is what gets put in front of our network across the state. So David's prior involvement with the Ohio School Business Officials Association as its executive director for over a decade affords him the ability to be connected to many in this profession. Through your ESC, that means the ability to connect with 50 other ESCs in the state, all who serve the local school district treasurers in their respective categories. We need some sort of descriptive profile to put in front of folks to talk about what this opportunity means for all of you. So that'll be a key part of this process. You'll be led through that process with a lead consultant supported by David, and that's really what we use to help you screen and determine who you'd like to bring in and talk to at subsequent interviews, final interviews, and then selection. In terms of candidate recruitment, of course, we're going to do a lot of awareness creation. So this position will be posted anywhere and everywhere you could possibly imagine, not just in Ohio, but through our national association partnerships, and certainly cast as wide a net as you all direct us to cast. But it's really back to the first slide. That needs assessment in determining what you're looking for, dovetailed with candidate recruitment, really works in two ways. One, posted everywhere. It's an open opportunity for people to apply, but it's also an opportunity for our consultant, David, and others to contact individuals who we believe meet your profile. And that is really where the conversations begin. A lot of questions. I will not step on David's toes here, and I encourage him to step forward and comment as he sees fit. If his phone hasn't already started ringing, it certainly will beginning tomorrow. As connected as he is, there will be many senior, executive, experienced treasurers who will want to know from David about this role. And so candidate recruitment is about casting a wide net, advertising, making people aware of the opportunity, leveraging your profile and contacting those people that meet that candidate profile, and then ultimately working with you once those people decide to apply. Who is it that you want to bring in, speak to, and then eventually move along in your process? David, do you have anything else that you want to share about candidate recruitment?
The only thing I would add is that we will be talking to some of our, outside of Ohio, obviously large urban areas have attraction to out-of-state candidates. The only downside is the licensure requirement in Ohio that stands as a stumbling block. But in my previous life, doing searches at Toledo, Akron, and Cincinnati, we certainly looked outside of Ohio, and in the end, they all ended up being from Ohio, but we did have some candidates because, again, the licensure becomes, and in some cases, compensation becomes an issue.
Before I move forward, do any board members have any questions for David or I on the first two parts of the presentation? Due diligence. So, as the slide says, identifying and understanding each applicant's background, experience, and reliability through vigorous screening and interviewing process. That's what we do together, including reference checks, exploring professional network connections, and potentially, this is your call, conducting site visitations as well. I think one of the things that you derive through partnering with us on this is our deep connections to all parts of Ohio. So back to the earlier reference, working with an ESC connects you to 50 other ESC superintendents and treasurers. Every day they get up and work with all of the rest of the school district superintendents and treasurers in this state. And when I pick up the phone and call my ESC superintendent colleagues, when David picks up the phone and calls his ESC treasurer colleagues, and we speak about individuals in their respective service territories as a potential candidate for roles, we believe we get candor, honesty, and transparency. And that is a professional courtesy and a respect that's developed over time. There are any number of ways to pursue due diligence. I suspect many of the folks in this room, people in this school district, even members of this board, as soon as you learn of names, put forward names that may be under serious consideration, you'll be doing a lot of your own Google searches, social media searches, and so on and so forth. Be assured we have all of that covered, including social media search, not just reference checks, but other types of due diligence that's going to afford the board a complete picture of each of the candidates that you'd like to bring forward for consideration in this process. Final selection, this is where we need to keep in mind the calendar. If I'm understanding the present desire of the board, we'd like to have somebody identified by June. We have some flexibility, I suspect. And so time is short. We're near the end of April. We're moving into May, and I'm not concerned about that timeline, but final selection usually results from at least a couple of stages of formal interviewing and vetting by you and anybody else that you make a part of that process. And so we really want to work backward from late June and be thinking about key events and key moments in final selection and think about time and effort and how much work that needs to go into that. You also need to be thinking in terms of how expansive you want community input to be in that process. I will share with you that in prior treasurer searches, in a final stage of this process, boards will often have their own board interview phase as well as sort of an interested party of community members, staff members, and other folks that are part of like a finance committee to be a part of that final vetting. All of that needs to be thought forward, be able to be communicated to people in terms of their availability. But looking at June, we've got anywhere from 5 to 7 weeks of aggressive effort here to bring forward candidates for your consideration. And then ultimately, final selection means an offer, and then we do support at your request the ability to support you in an effort around contract negotiations, anything that you want us to do in terms of candidate-facing work in that regard. More of those details can be shared with you specifically by our lead search consultant at a later meeting. Number 5, I do want to take just a moment to talk about success and continuing support. Perhaps not as typical with a treasurer, more typical with a superintendent. We would be willing to provide ongoing support for any treasurer that you select through David or through any other assets and resources we have to begin to develop an ongoing support infrastructure. I will tell you, having Jenny connected to this district going forward, the next treasurer is going to have someone of real value, insight, and experience to be able to support them as they enter the district, which is a real plus for you as you all move forward. So there's our phases at a glance. Phase 1 is that announcement, which could occur tomorrow if you'd like us to begin to make it known that there is a vacancy for the Columbus treasurer, and then we will commence immediately on developing that profile that I was speaking of. Selection, pool, and interviews is our phase 2, followed by our due diligence phase, and then ultimately moving into board discernment, board action to employ, and then any of the other activities that are related to transition and implementation of the new treasurer being on board. Are there any questions for David or I in this process?
Thank you for that overview. We appreciate just your thoroughness in providing just the process. At this time, it doesn't seem the board has any questions. I would move for a motion to approve ESC's scope of work to begin the treasurer search process.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Engels?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we'll be in contact. Thank you.
President Vera,
Go ahead.
it's not a question for them, but could you make clear, just so that the community understands, that because we have a relationship with ESC, this doesn't actually cost anything additional than what we are already paying into as a member.
I think you're already rolling with it. Let's just keep it going. Yes. So, and I was interesting that you didn't cover that in your presentation, but yes, to board member Adair's point, you know, we are members of ESC, and because of our membership, actually this treasurer search, we will not incur, correct, right? We will not incur any additional costs. And so we are truly grateful for your partnership and the opportunities. And not only just in this, we know that we've partnered with you for a lot of great things in this district. So thank you, and we look forward to the work ahead. Thank you. All right, colleagues, moving on to item 5.8, personnel. I know we did have to pull this legislation because there is a conflict, so we will call the roll, right? Just so if there's a motion to approve item 5.8. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
I need to abstain because my mother's contract is on this legislation.
Ms. Engels?
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, moving into item 6.1. Madam Superintendent, I know we don't have a formal report, but was there anything you wanted to share?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. We got to take that intro out, but okay. Auditor O'Connor, is there anything you would like to share?
Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Interim Treasurer Vanover, good evening. Is there anything you would like to share?
Not tonight, no, thank you.
Thank you. All right, colleagues, we will move into item 9.1, notice of public hearing on the reemployment of retired employees. Pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Section 3309.345, the Columbus Board of Education gives notice that Regina L. Deloach Executive Secretary 2 who will retire from the Columbus City Schools effective June 30th, 2024, is seeking employment with the Columbus City Schools as an Executive Secretary 2 effective August 29, 2024. The board will hold a public hearing on May 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Starling Middle School, located at 145 South Central Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, on the issue of Ms. Dolach's reemployment. Item 9.2, notice of hearing on the reemployment of retired employee Darrell L. Rhoda. Pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Section 3309.345, the Columbus Board of Education gives notice that Darrell L. Rhoda, teacher who retired, will retire from the Columbus City Schools effective June 4th, 2021, is seeking employment with the Columbus City Schools as a physical education teacher effective August 19th, 2024. The board will hold a public hearing on May 21st, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Starling Middle School located at 145 South Central Avenue, Columbus, Ohio, on the issue of Ms. Rhoda's reemployment. All right, so at this time, colleagues, we will move into items 10.1 to 26.5. Is there a motion to, let's see here. Is there a motion to approve items 10.6 to 26.5?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any objection or discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Ingles?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Is that it? I think is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Ingles?
Yes.
Vice President Dr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Simmons?
Yes.
President Vera?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Thank you to the Walnut Ridge team and students for having us and hosting us this night. Thank you again and have a good evening.